Hi everybody and welcome back to the Power Within. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think and I can feel that a lot of people have been dealing with, and even myself recently, about being lost. And there's some saying which says being lost in the right direction, and I guess a lot of us have experienced the feeling of being lost in life and job and relationship and whatever other situation that we're experiencing in our living reality. And being lost does not necessarily always mean that it's something bad. And especially if you pay attention to the statement being lost in the right direction, because a lot of the times we feel that our direction should be this way or that way or another way, and there's so many projections how we would like our direction to be, and yet sometimes it doesn't fall in the same ways that we would want it to be, and we found ourselves in some other place or space in which we would not necessarily want to be experiencing at the moment. And yet it doesn't necessarily mean that this is bad, because for a lot of the time people who feel that they're lost, they just are unhappy with this kind of feeling and experience. And I'm urging everyone to reconsider the feeling of being lost, especially if you come to discover that perhaps you're lost in the right direction. If I will bring an example from my own life, that my own ideas, my own dreams, my own desires in life were always out there, and I didn't know how to get there. And I felt a lot of the times that I'm lost and not necessarily doing what I would feel that would bring me there. And yet, if I look back 5 years, 10 years, all of the dreams, all of the things that I really wanted is right now in my life. It's right now happening. So in a way, you just have to trust yourself that no matter what is happening, no matter how the life is unfolding or flowing, it does not mean that you're not going the right direction. It perhaps doesn't necessarily flow the way that you would see it to flow, but it still flows somewhere. It still goes in some way, and maybe in some time you'll find that actually you are in the place, in the destination where you wanted to be. Perhaps not all the details, not all the ambience and environment and everything is going to be the same of the feeling that you're looking for. Yet, most of the time and most likely you'll have exactly what you wanted, consciously or subconsciously, because if you're not conscious of what you want, you just keep projecting whatever comes into your mind and whatever is formed and pushed around by other triggers. And there's many triggers to form a lot of ideas and ways for you to live your life and create a direction, starting from school to university to group of friends. And our direction sometimes gets lost because of the environmental influences. We end up following other directions, which does not necessarily mean that it's the real direction of our hearts. And everybody in your heart, in their hearts, they have something something that feels right, something that feels good, something that makes one happy, and something that one can do and just not, not need anything out of it, just enjoying in that space, being in that space. And that is perhaps the direction that everybody should investigate. Am I feeling that whatever I'm doing is bringing me closer to that feeling of I can do this no matter what, no matter if I receive something from this or I don't receive something from this, I'm just doing this because it feels good to me. And if it is that you can recognize that kind of feeling, it's already good, and you could perhaps follow that further and see what's on the other end. If you feel that perhaps you're not doing that, perhaps this is not what is in your experience, investigate what is actually happening in your life. Perhaps your directions and which you're going to is not necessarily what you personally want. It doesn't mean that you have to drop everything instantly, immediately, but you don't have to necessarily push yourself go to keep continue going that direction. It's okay to be lost. It's okay to change your direction. It's okay to feel that you don't know where you're going, because just because you don't know where you're going doesn't mean that you're not going the right direction. And that is something to remember. Just because you don't necessarily see exactly what's in the next corner, the same as overused example, when you have a car and you're driving during the night, you can see only so much, and whatever you see, as much as you see, it's enough to go further, to see more. And that's what we all need: strength to trust in that we're going the right direction. It doesn't matter that I'm lost. As much as I see, I'm going the right direction. That's why it's so important to investigate what is your feeling, what is your desire, what is your interest, what is something that you feel good about, and follow that direction. Doesn't matter how it goes, doesn't matter how much you see that can actually go. Just follow it and see it for yourself. Otherwise, you may follow all the other directions what everybody else will give to you. And do you want for the rest of your life to keep following others people's directions, or perhaps you want to feel that you're following your direction of your own heart? And if you cannot live life in following the direction of your own heart, why to live at all?